Hi, this is Colin. What I'd like to do is go through and explain to you what critical thinking is and invite you to try out a critical thinking course that I'm developing for the rest of this year, 2019. So here I have a diagram of what knowledge is. So if you look at this square here, it's number one, course number one, this is what you know. So encapsulated in that box there, we have everything that you know, your knowledge, that's some of your knowledge. Now, external to your knowledge is we've got box number two. And in box number two, we have what you know you don't know. For example, you know that there is the skill and knowledge of flying a jumbo jet. And you probably don't have the skills required to fly a jumbo jet, but you do know that those skills exist. So that goes into the category of knowledge that you know exists, but you know you don't have. Now we look at number three. Now number three, in this box we put what you don't know you don't know. Now there are many areas, science and around the world, different tribal knowledge and so forth. There are many things that you're totally and blissfully unaware of. And this form of knowledge is in the category of things that you don't even know you don't know. So this is totally beyond your comprehension. So that covers the three areas of knowledge. But you may have noticed this box up here at the top. And this is where critical thinking becomes involved. Everybody has things that they think are true that are not. So there are errors in our understanding of the world, and we're all suffer from this. There are many things that I think are true that are actually not true. And if I had more knowledge and more learning, I would find that out. Now, critical thinking allows you to focus in on these things here and work out where you are mistaken. Now, for example, many people many years ago thought the world was flat, and they had good reason for thinking that. So if we look at this next slide here, and here we have the reasoning behind the world being flat. So we say the oceans are made out of water, and if you look at that first container there, container number one, that's how we expect a container full of water to look like. And we've had experience of water in a container, and we all know that that is true. Now, if we curve the bottom of the container, as number two here, that's what you would expect to happen as well. So we're all familiar with that. Now, number three, we would not expect that to happen. So if we put the curve in the bottom of the container, that would not happen. At least it wouldn't stay that way for very long. It would level out and be flat. Now, the flat earth theory people tell us that Earth's not a sphere, and it wouldn't be a sphere because of number two, that water does not behave like that. So that is their logic for, one of their logics for the Earth being flat. So let's examine that. Now, I was down the beach yesterday and I saw a container ship going past, and I took this photo. So you can see the container ship there on the horizon. And later on I walked down to the boat ramp and had a look from the viewing platform, and there was that same ship. And I noticed that it wasn't as high in the water when I was down closer to the water. So then I walked down to the actual shore, and here I was standing on the shore, so my camera's about 1.5 meters off sea, or 2 meters off sea level. And then I went closer to the shore and got down to as low as I could, about 1 meter off sea level, and there's the same ship there. Now, that in itself might be enough evidence for you to conclude that the flat earth people are wrong, and that the surface of the sea and that distance that is out there is curved. But I went a bit further, as you do. When you're doing critical thinking, you gather as much evidence as you can. So I went to an app and had a look on an app and found out that there was a ship called the Eagle Sky cargo ship, and it was offshore from Malakuta. And the app also told me that the ship was 210 metres long, and it gave me its GPS coordinates. And this is what the ship looked like, and that's pretty similar to the picture that I took early on. Now then I went into Google Earth, or later on I went into Google Earth when I was at home, and plotted those coordinates here, and then measured the distance to where I was on the beach at Malakuta, which was 22 kilometres. So now I've got a set of data which will enable me to actually do some calculations. And you can use trigonometry and the fact that the Earth has a radius, and I'll tell you what the radius of the Earth is if that's going to help you, which is 6,371 kilometres. So using that information and some mathematics, you can actually work out how much curvature there should be in the Earth. Anyway, so this is the process of critical thinking. And the first step is to gather the evidence. Don't accept what people are saying is true. Investigate it and then try and draw some conclusions on that. So if you'd like to try this out more, I'm making a very special offer at the moment to run people through a critical thinking course. I plan on developing a major critical thinking unit for launch in 2020, which will be equivalent of a TAFE university course on critical thinking. And if you'd like to be in the beta test program, and I'll run that for you well below cost, and you'll learn the basics of critical thinking, in the meantime developing a course. I'm also hoping that some of you might like to get a bit more involved and help actually write the course for me, or perhaps come on to the course in 2020 as a mentor, because the program is going to involve a lot more than just an online course. It's going to be a full learning program with interaction and discussion and quality teaching. So follow the link, have a look below, contact me if you're interested in getting involved in this program, and I look forward to meeting you, and thank you for listening.